NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. It's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Houston Texans taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led by a three-time Pro Bowler in his fifth season. It's Deshaun Watson.
And he's exactly the man you want in control of your offense. Excellent arm, good zip on the ball, not afraid to use his legs when he needs to. And what he's excelled at doing is making plays when the first read isn't available or when the pressure's about to get to him.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw is Watson. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And Deshaun Watson, when you think about the toughest quarterbacks in the league to game plan against, he's got to be in your top 5, does he not?
And when you talk about game planning, putting him in the top 5, that's an easy call because he can make every throw.
You know
that's
what?
not an issue at all.
Over?
He has great touch delivering the football. But that mobility, that added dimension, when he escapes the pocket and those receivers find their way open, short, medium, and long, he finds the right guy. And last but not least, his toughness. He can stand in the pocket, take a hit, and deliver.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first down, it's Watson. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game has to be sky high. In fact, you'd be absolutely stunned to come away with a loss in that one. Could you imagine going to the press conference?
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up third down.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Gonna need something special here on third and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal? From the gun, Watson. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up fourth down. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's first down from the 42. Now Cunningham. He'll drop this down to Johnson underneath. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Cunningham. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. The Cunningham's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
The numbers for Johnson in last week's game, 13 carries, 60 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So first and goal from the 9-yard line.
50's the mic. 50's the mic. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Here we go now on first and goal. On first and goal, Gurley. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up second and goal. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Cunningham looking to throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. It's a sack for a loss of 4, and that brings up third down and goal.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Here's 3rd and goal now, back at the 11. Here's Cunningham. Escaping the pressure right. And it's caught. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best.
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Here, man.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Play fake, and it's Watson. He finds his man, complete. It's Brady. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
From the 24, Watson, and he will find his man on the outside. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
They'll run with Chubb. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just...
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Odell Beckham, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and we are tied here in the second quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now Cunningham. And going deep for Hill. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. A huge play there for Houston. Pretty good play by both the thrower and the catcher there, Charles. 3rd down, showed a lot of trust in his receiver.
And what I liked about the play was his receiver's understanding that everything wasn't on time back in the pocket. Rhythm was off a little bit. He adjusted as well and gave them a chance to complete that play.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Here I come again.
Cunningham to throw. Dumping it off for Johnson. And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It's hurry-up mode time for the Texans, hustling up to the line. To throw on 2nd down, Cunningham. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. That time a 6-play drive, and the result a Houston touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. On 1st and 10, Watson. This one into the hands of Largent. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Watson. That's out to Chubb, complete. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the 50, it's Watson. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Texans are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
57, Mike.
Now a first down throw, Cunningham. Flushed out right. And he'll just get rid of it. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun here, it's Cunningham. And going deep for Hill. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. Cunningham. He's going deep for Brown. And got his man, complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
57's the Mike. Check Mike, check. Reload. Hey, turn it up.
Back to throw again. It's Hill, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coach. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the 3rd quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Tight right. Hey, boys, we got 4 down. Hey, I got number 80.
A play fake. Now Cunningham. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Seahawks are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
After the interception, here's Watson. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road in just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw, Watson. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And again, it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Drops it off for Chubb. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Now a first carry for their fullback, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5, pickup of 3.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Watson on 3rd down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have a chance to tie the ball game here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will tie our game here in the 3rd. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. Taking it about the 1. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's Johnson again on second down. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Back now in Houston. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the fourth quarter. On first down, it's Gurley. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Another carry now for Gurley. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Check. Lucky.
On first down, it's Patterson, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Once more, they turn to Patterson. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On 3rd down, Cunningham eluding the pressure right. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down.
57.
Looking to throw. Cunningham. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play. And the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Back to the ground game here. Gurley. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Second down at 4. Again, they run with Gurley. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Watch the run, watch the run, watch the run. Mike's 50, Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game. Operating from the gun, Cunningham. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
And the Seahawks are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Watson. And that's off the mark, incomplete. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
And that is incomplete.
Well, the defense certainly did its job. They held up in that situation, and now 4th down, you've got to punt this and try to get to overtime. There's no decision to be made, in my estimation.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Brown with his stick skills. A field position changer there. 49 yards on the punt. Couple that with a loss on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10.
Houston's offense taking over again.
They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. But it's going to be 2nd down. Back to throw. Cunningham being chased out left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the 1st down. That's what's vital to them.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Watch the pass. Alert flare.
Here's Cunningham from the gun. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14.
57's Mike. Mike 57. Let's pick it up. It's our time.
Looking to throw. Cunningham. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Let's do this.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. A run for Nick Chubb, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. On third down, it's Nick Chubb, and that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. And Gay knocks this one through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? In the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done.
Let's bring it. Mike 50, Mike 50. Coming this way, coming this way. Here we go.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 28.
And the Seahawks have just about sewn up this football game.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
So the victory here for Seattle, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Seahawks, the win is their 5th of the year as they move to 5-8. And they'll have another road date next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Texans, you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5. And they'll be on the road.